Good afternoon, everybody. One moment. I'm just going to add my link in the comments. Okay. If you don't know me, my name is Michaela from Middleburg, Florida. I'm the owner and operator of Paint Fixation. My cat's coming in here to join me. Go on, Beans. Get. And if you were on with me last night, you know that I painted my door last night, and my husband and I very hilariously put on a doorknob, which was, we should have done that live because that would have been hilarious. It is a little teeny bit crooked, but we're not going to judge because he did it without me, okay? Hey, Kimberly. Thank you. I love it. Okay, so one thing I did not mention yesterday was how I prepped the door. I cleaned it first with White Lightning, and that is a product that lasts forever and ever. I love it. And if I can find the container, which I cannot put my hands on it. Darn it. Okay. But it's a granular product, and you mix it with warm water. Hey, honey. My husband's watching. And you mix it with warm water, and you use that to clean your piece, whether it's furniture, a door, or whatever it is. And it's also got a deglosser in it, so it gives a really good surface for your paint to stick to. So I cleaned with that, and then I think I did mention that I sanded with, I started with a medium grit, and then I went to a fine grit to get all the pitting and stuff off from the rust. Then I used the Patina Lines Prime Start to prime it so that we don't have any rust bleeding through. And then we went on with our paint. This is 2 coats of Antebellum Blue. The first coat went on so well, I didn't think I was going to need R-rated language. Did I say something bad? Oh, are we talking about R-rated language when we were putting on the doorknob, maybe, Kenny? So we got it on, though, darn it. So there's the doorknob and the handle. I've never had a pretty handle before, so I'm really excited about that. We've usually only had the deadbolt and a knob here. Builder's grade, gross. But I love the new one, even if it's slightly crooked. I'm good with that. Okay, so what I wanted to show you today is I'm going to be putting the top coat on. And the top coat that I am using is called Hemp Oil. It's from Dixie. This is it here. This is a really great product. It is food safe, so you can use this on cutting boards to seal your cutting boards. It's water resistant after it cures, and it cures in 3 weeks, 21 days. And it takes about 2 hours for it to dry for the first coat. You use very little bit of this, okay? You don't need to use very much. What happens is this will absorb into your paint, so you don't want to use more than you need. The fact that I'm using this on a metal door, okay, I have paint on here. I have 2 coats of paint, and so it's okay to use this, but I'm going to use a very thin layer because the paint is going to absorb just exactly what it needs, and then it's going to expel whatever it doesn't need. So I want you to see, I've already put one little coat on this panel right here, and if you can see the difference, it's just got a very slightly different sheen. Can you see the difference between this panel here and this section right here? It's just slightly different, just a little bit more than the matte. It will help hide any imperfections in the door, and it's water resistant, and so it's really the second most durable top coat that we have, but it can't be used always in place of gator hide, which is our most durable top coat. You cannot use this on a surface that has a factory finish. You don't want to use this on anything that cannot absorb the oil, okay? Because that's what makes it work, is the absorption. So raw wood, it puts a beautiful finish on raw wood. And on paint that's lighter in color, like our cotton fluff, those lighter colors, you might get a slight amber. How do you apply a brush? I'm going to show you. I'm going to apply it with one of these pads. This is an applicator pad that we sell. It's got a very fine terry cloth on it. They're not loops, okay? Because if you have a loops in your pad, it can cause drag marks. So you want to make sure that you have a very tight material. Okay, so it has just, if you look at it, you can see that it's almost like velour, but not the same material, because this is cotton, not polyester. But if you have a pad that has loops, then you're going to have drag marks. So that's the difference. I use these over and over again unless I use them for oil, and so I may, depending on how much what it looks like, I might just use one side. Might be able to use the other side, but I use them over and over again for finishing off pieces and wiping pieces down and that kind of thing. But for today, I probably will use it and toss it. But I'm going to show you exactly how you put it on. First, I'm going to go over the piece really quick with it. This is a sanding pad that we sell. It's a 220 grit, but this one's been used quite a bit, and I've washed it a couple times, so it's probably more like a 400. And I'm just going to take it, and I'm just going to knock off any little nubbies. So you can probably hear the difference. You hear the difference? So this has been sanded and has a one coat of the hemp oil on it, and this is still just the raw paint. Now, to be honest, I have painted things that go outside in Florida. I have not sealed them, and they are fine. I know of a retailer that has painted the front walkway of her brick and mortar store outside, and I think she lives in a snowy area, and it has not faded, it has not chipped, it hasn't scratched. It's just a very durable. Once it cures, it's very durable. But for the most part, because I wanted a little teeny bit of a sheen, but not much, I went ahead and put it on here, and it is water resistant, so hopefully it'll keep any more water from getting into the metal part of the door. But I'm just going to quickly just give it a quick, I'm not going to push hard, I'm just going to give it a quick rub. I'm not going to worry about getting in the crevices and stuff. I just want the parts that are on the top part just to be smooth. And you don't even really have to do this if you didn't want to. I just prefer it because I touch everything. And I'm not going to do around the handle because I did have to do a little touch up there. Now, I'll tell you another thing that impressed me. I've used this paint for 2 years and it's constantly impressing me. So my husband and I did this last night. Well, he started it and we finished it. And it wasn't easy. We had a little problem with this top part, and we had to get a screwdriver and pop it back off again. It was a whole mess, but it got done. But all the twisting and turning and cranking, my paint, I got 2 tiny little scratches. And, you know, this paint is last night. It's not anywhere near cured. It'll take 21 days to cure. I told my husband, I said, I'm just impressed that this is like it's not scratching. I mean, yesterday I was just impressed with everything. I was impressed with the coverage of it. And then when we were, you know, I really thought I was going to have to do a lot more touching up, but didn't have to. Okay, so I've just basically, you know, I'm not going to go in here because, you know, I don't touch the inside part, and then I'm going to take this cotton rag. It's not very damp. It's just slightly, just got a little bit of it from last night, and I'm just going to rub it on here to get any dust off. There's not a whole lot of dust because that sanding pad is so worn, but it's just enough to change the way it feels. Now it feels like butter. So once you hit it a little bit with your sanding pad, I mean, I always say it looks like butter or feels like butter, but then I think, how often do you take your hand and rub it against butter? I'm sorry. It's a goofy kind of day. I'm a little goofy today. My daughter is visiting. I'm happy. My kids are here. I have two of my 3 are here. I think I missed this one. I'm always happy when the kids are here. We went and picked up some flowers to plant some flowers, and that always makes me happy. So, but I wanted to come on here and show you guys the hemp oil because it's such a great product and it's so underused. And it doesn't leave any brush strokes. If you paint with caviar, in the navy, antebellum blue, coffee bean, any of the darker colors, I did a couple of end tables with coffee bean and use this on top, and it just leaves a beautiful finish. And you use very, very little bit of it. So I'm going to show you, okay? I'm just going to just barely put just a couple of drops on here, okay? Just a little bit to start. I don't want to overdo. I can always add more in a couple of hours if I feel like I look at it and it looks like there's a couple of places that are missing some, then I can go back after a couple of hours and put another very, very light coat in those areas. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm just going to rub it in. And I'll be able to tell by looking at the side if it's covering it good. And what will happen is tomorrow I'll come out here, and if there is any pooling, if you get any darker areas of oil, that's just where the paint has expelled the oil that you don't need. And you just take it and you just wipe it back. Okay, I'm just going to put a couple more drops on here because I've really used very, very little. Okay. And when you first put it on, it has a slight sheen to it, but as it dries, it will dry into this more of a flat finish. And when you come on, if you have any questions, please ask. I don't know what, Melissa, what are you laughing about? And you're basically just buffing it into your paint, okay? You can also use a lint-free t-shirt. My daughter's trying to make me laugh. Not going to work. So anything lint-free you can use. And I'm going to pull it like this so that I can look on the edge and see, so I can see there's a couple places that I didn't get good. I need a ladder. Oops, I forgot to turn off my notifications. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm touching butter. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we always say that, oh, it's smooth as butter. I mean, what's that even mean? Okay, I'm just going to look on the side here, see where I finished. This rag is actually giving me some lint. So I'm going to, this one's been well used. So I'm going to move to this one. This is just a clean rag that I had earlier, cotton. Sometimes it's time to let, once you use one several times, and I've actually washed that one a couple times, sometimes you'll get lint problems. So, but that's the pad that I usually use to put all my hemp oil on. But it's telling me it's time to let go. Move on to the next one. And you can just see that the paint is just sucking it up. don't know why I'm getting wet, guys. I just used this on this panel right here. And I don't think I have another one down there. But I'm going to keep going. I can always get it off after. Butter is silky smooth. Yeah, you could do a dresser for 8 ounces. I still have a half of a jar. Let me see. I have this much left. See the line? I only used half. And that was 2 full coats. Did you do the sides of the door? I did just this side and the other side. I still haven't decided. I ordered a new rug for this room right next to me, so I'm going to wait and see. I ordered a rug online, so I'm going to wait and see what the color is. I think this color is going to be perfect for it, but before I paint the other side, I'm going to wait and see what it looks like. So if you were on with me last night and you had comments, I apologize because my husband was supposed to be watching the comments and telling me, but apparently he was watching sports or something. Hey, Sherry. And so I did not, I did go back and answer everybody's comments afterwards, but normally I like to do that during my live. And yeah, he got in trouble. He got fired. Because I was like, honey, nobody said anything? And he's like, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of lint on here, and it's just because I'm using rags I've used before, and I should know better. But, you know, once this dries, I can come in and get it off. No problem. And I'm just using like a little teeny drip at a time because I do not want, the reason I'm using so little at a time and keep going back, I don't want to use too much because this door is metal. Okay? So I'm just going a very little bit at a time. And then I'm going to keep looking at it from the side so I can see what areas I've missed. Like I still need to do the inside of my inserts. But I think can you see the sheen on it? It's hard to tell on here. I'm trying to see if y'all can tell where I've missed. Like there's a spot right in that area there that I missed. And I'll go back and get that after. I did that inside that one. Let me go inside this one. Hey, Kennedy, are you in there? Yeah. Can you go into the middle room? Underneath the table there on the left, there's a box of rags. Can you bring me that box, please? This rag is, I need to get another one. Don't you love live videos? They just always work just like you think they're going to. Thank you for doing that, Gail and Jackie. Good girls. You know what it's about. And I am hot. It's like, I think is it like 90-something degrees here? I have a bucket of clean rags, and I'm going to get me out a t-shirt that I'm pretty sure will be working a lot better. Hang on one second. So, you know, this is what happens in real life. You start to do something and it doesn't work out the way you wanted. Kennedy, can you grab me a pair of scissors, please? And so I'm showing you real life. We have, well, this is my daughter. She wants to, let me say hi. Hello. That's my girl. And my other daughter is here too, the one that lives here, and she actually said, can I make Cameo, and I'm like, sure, honey, but I haven't seen her. So I've got a clean t-shirt, cotton, and I'm going to cut off a piece of it because I don't have any more applicator pads. I need to order some, and I can't get into my shop. Melissa says hello. Hi, Melissa. She says hey. We haven't seen Melissa in over a month. I'm dying. Kimberly, I was using the flat medium yesterday. I think. Or was I using the mini? Actually, it was the mini. This is the mini. I had been using the flat medium earlier in the day. They look very similar. They both have a nice flat bristles on them, but the mini has a shorter, stubbier handle on it. But the bristles are almost identical. We have a flat medium and a flat small, which I have both of those. So the small one is about, not half, but maybe 3/4 the size of the, okay, this is much better. So I now just got a clean t-shirt, cotton. So now I'm not getting any of the lint. Just what was already on there. And I'm not going to go around here because I did some touch up there just a few minutes ago, so I'll wait till tomorrow to do that. Let me see. And the nice thing about this is you can go over what you've already been on, and you're not going to get any brush marks or anything. You're just basically rubbing, you're buffing it in, kind of like if you buff in a wax. If you've ever used a wax. So Teresa, normally I would use an applicator pad. That's what I started with, but this one's old. And so I started to get lint. But I love these. I use these all the time. And I don't have a new one here, so I decided to go with just a cotton t-shirt because this one's not going to give me any lint either. But I like the size of those, how it fits in my hand. They're easier to use, but I'm just going to use the t-shirt for now. And like I said earlier, I'm using very, very little oil. And I'll be able to see where I've missed. Just by the sheen. And then tomorrow I'll come back and look at it, and if I have any cooling, then I know I need to buff it back. I did a tabletop once, and I put too much of the oil on there for the needs of it. It didn't need that much. So it was about 2 days that it kept pushing the oil to the surface, and after that, it stopped, and then it cured, and it was beautiful. So that's the great thing about this product is your paint or your raw wood is only going to use as much of the oil that it needs to use. It's like a smart product. I'm just pulling it to see. Y'all probably are looking at the back of my head, but... Oh, good. Yes, Teresa, if you're not already following my page, go ahead and follow, and then anytime I go live, you'll be able to see when I go live, because right now, I don't have a schedule. Trying to get myself a little bit more organized with everything that's going on. It's just been really hard to plan. So, but I really like this 4 o'clock time. It seems like my followers are really enjoying this 4 o'clock time. So, aside from every now and then, I will most likely be doing a 4 o'clock live a couple times a week. And this is so smooth. I mean, even without it being dry. So you see how it's starting to get a little bit of a sheen to it now? It's hard to tell. I can't even tell with the the sun hitting my phone. But, and then the other thing that I'm so this is where I stopped. You can see where I stopped right here. And I will wait. I'll probably do that with a smaller, although it doesn't matter if I get the oil in here. I can just wipe it right off. But the other thing that I'm doing, Teresa, is I'm going to be doing some Zoom classes. If you're not familiar with Zoom, it's just it's an app that you can go live with each other. You can see each other. And I'm going to be doing some classes that way. I've got a couple of customers that can't, they don't want to leave their house. I have one that's got some physical problems, so that way I can teach them how to use the products or teach them different paint techniques without having to actually be there. It's like 90-something degrees here, and the sun's coming through the store. I got a fan going, but I'm hot. My pool is calling me. And I'm giving this a pretty good rub, and as you can see, the paint isn't moving. So one of the things I always tell my customers is if you have any paint that's coming off, it's your prep. So you either haven't cleaned your piece well enough, or you didn't get off the cleaner that you used. So sometimes it's your cleaner. Sometimes you put your cleaner on and you don't wipe it back enough. You don't rinse it off enough. Or you just miss a spot. So I did a kitchen for my cousin, and I don't think she's on here, but her job was to clean. And I told her why. But when I went to go, so I went ahead and painted. Get a little bit of wet. I went to go paint the pieces, so I put the first coat on, and then I got my 220 grit, and I was just doing light sanding in between my coats, and the paint started to come off. And I said, you see this? This is why you were supposed to clean your piece. That's the most important thing before you paint anything. There is no such thing as no prep. The least that you have to do is clean your piece really, really well, because you get oils from your hands, dirt. Hey, Amy, you didn't see my, Amy, I sent you a message and you didn't see it, so I just went for it, girl. I wasn't sure if the antebellum was dark enough, but I talked to Kristen and I went ahead with the hemp oil. Taking classes is what I would love to. Well, good, Wilma. So we will just get together and figure out a time. I'm just trying to figure out the logistics. And I really wish I had a clean applicator pad, because I think that would work so much better than this. I'm going to switch to another piece. So Amy, I started out with my applicator pad, which I love to use for my hemp oil, but it was so old, it started to give me lint, and so now I'm moving from one thing to another, trying to find something that's lint-free, and all of my pieces, all of my rags here are giving me trouble, but this one's even worse. I'm going to go back to this one. So Amy's a brand ambassador, and Amy, what is your favorite way of applying hemp oil? So let's ask Amy, because she's the pro. She is the top coat queen. She's the one that we go to for questions that we have. She helps to make us better retailers and better at what we do. She is amazing. We love her. So we're almost done. I'm almost done with this. And I'm really liking the way it looks. So I have some little divots in here where there was some pitting for the rust. Oh, so that's a good idea. So Amy says she uses a premium chip brush and then wipes back with the applicator pad. That's what I could do. Of course, I don't have a clean applicator pad. So we're just doing it like this, and it's working. It probably wouldn't take me as long had I done it that way, but it still looks really, really good. But it looks really good, but I am getting a little bit of a lint, and that's probably because I'm having to rub it in. And I'm not going to do the very, very bottom because I had to do a little bit of touch-ups on the very, very bottom where I had hit it with my shoe last night when I was on the floor with the screwdrivers and everything trying to get this handle in. So that's as far down as I'm going to go for now. But I'm going to finish that off with a premium chip brush and wipe it back with, yeah. So Amy, the applicator pad that I had is one that I have used before. And I couldn't get another one in time because the shipping's been a little bit slower with everything going on. So we just went with it. Well, hello, Linda. Man, how are you doing today? So this is one very, very light coat of the hemp oil. This panel I did earlier, so this one is dry. It's been on here for about 3 hours. And I'm going to pull the door so you can see. I have some places that I need to go back over a little bit. But you can see the difference right here. Because I had to do touch-ups in this area. I don't want to go anywhere near it. But you can see the sheen on the door. It's just a very, very slight sheen. So that all the little pits and divots and stuff that are in it. Thank you, Amy. It's antebellum blue and I just love it. Love it. I've had this door for almost 20 years since we moved in. It's just a white, gross builder's metal door. Thank you, Linda. And that's wet, so it's got my fingerprints on it. I didn't really want to. It's not that I just didn't want to buy a new door. I gotta feed those things to my husband a little bit at a time. So I got my new handle. That's how I do it. So last night we were having a good time putting this on. I don't know if any of y'all have done work with your husbands before, but it's so much fun. I don't think he's watching. And it's slightly crooked, just a little bit. It's just off a little bit. And I might sneak a drill in here and fix it before he comes home from work. But what I was saying earlier was I was really impressed with the paint having only been a few hours, not even a few hours old. I had just finished it maybe an hour before we started putting this thing on. And I had two slight scratches. And they were from a screwdriver that we were trying to dig in there because he put this top part on wrong. We're trying to pop it off. But, so this is my step towards a new door. So last night when we were having problems with this, I was like, well, you know, if we get a new door, then we can get it straight on the new door. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But he kind of cringes when I say I'm going to paint the doors because when we first moved into this house, I had small children and little ones. They were like, the youngest was a year old. And so I was a homeschool, I homeschooled my kids and we were here all the time. And I painted everything in the house, all the trim, all the doors, like this really pretty chocolate color. I mean, it looked really good at the time, but there's a point where you get tired of seeing that. And so then I went back to paint everything back white, and it took forever. I think it took like 5 coats between primer and paint. So my husband cringes when I say, I'm going to paint the door. But he was pretty impressed with this last night, and I have 2 neighbors that have seen it that both want their doors painted this color. I'm so excited. And I can't wait to, when I get all done, I have to wait for this to get dry pretty good before I go hit it with the hemp oil. And then I got to do the very bottom panel, and I have a couple of spots that I've noticed. Just a couple of spots, not much. But overall, like when I touch it, my fingerprints show up because it's not dry. But it's not like when you use a top coat and your top coat pulls and you can't touch it, you know, because then it gets gummy. This doesn't do that at all. And once this cures, it's water resistant. And like I was saying earlier, it's also food safe. And so you can use this on cutting boards. It soaks into the wood and then it cures. It is antebellum blue. Yes, ma'am. It's one of my favorite colors that we have. And I've never been big on blue, but my house is slowly kind of transitioning into blue. I have Stormy Seas in there, and in the navy over there, and all of them they all kind of blend together somewhat. In the navy pot that I did, I might actually do it again with the antebellum blue. I did that for a live video. But now looking at it, I'm thinking I might hit it with antebellum blue instead, because it's going to be sitting in here, and I want to get some tall plants or tall something or another to put in there, but I haven't been able to go to Hobby Lobby or anything like that. So, so if you guys have any questions about what we've done here, please hit me in the comments. If you enjoy the video and you think you know anybody else that might like it, or if you want to help me out as a small business, please SHARE the video. And I'm spelling that out because Dixie, Facebook doesn't like me to say that word. And this is my puppy. She's come to see me. Say hi, Tootie. Yeah, she's not supposed to be over here. Go on. She's a good girl, but she's not supposed to go through there. Go on. She's like, I got in here, now I don't know how to get out. Anyway, so I'm going to take the rest of the weekend, and try and get some projects started for some lives next week. I am going to be doing a patina live, probably Monday at 4. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a picture of a blue pot that I did for my neighbor. And thank you, Amy. She's a sweetheart. She was my mom's dog, so I inherited her. She actually was here for a few months before my mom moved in with us because she wasn't able to take care of her. But she's our baby now, and we love her to death. But I will be doing a patina live on Monday on a twin pot that my neighbor has. She wants me to do it also, so I asked her if I could wait and do it on a live. And we were waiting for the weather to clear up because it's like 300 pounds. So I have to do it outside. And so that's one live I'm doing next week. So I'm going to show you how to use patina. And we're using copper and bronze. And those are the 2 colors that turn really quickly. And so they're very satisfying to watch. I just love using those 2 colors. I actually love the iron even more so because it's got that rusty look to it. But iron takes longer to turn to patina. So because she wants the copper and the bronze, I really wanted to do the live with those because you're going to be able to see the product work. And so if there's any other techniques or products that you guys want to learn next week, let me know, and I'll try and throw together another live. Otherwise, it'll be something that I'm working on here. One thing that I am going to be doing very soon is my kitchen. So I will be prepping my kitchen live, and I will be doing little lives throughout the process to, thank you, Sandy, throughout the process to show you how you can do your kitchen too and how easy it is. It's a time-consuming project, but it's an easy project. It's not hard. If you have the right tools, the right knowledge, and I can give you that, you can do your kitchen. I've done my kitchen. I've done both bathrooms. It's not hard. My kitchen right now is done in what I did it years ago with a Java stain, which I'm sure you've heard that term a lot. It's a gel stain, which is a wonderful product. I love it. But it's a Java color, so it's dark, and I want to change it a little bit. And so I'm still in the process of picking it, trying to decide if I want to do like everybody else and do like a lighter color, or if I want to use something a little bit bolder. Not sure about that, but the hubby and I are going to figure that one out. He thinks that he has a say in the decor, but you know how it is. he'll think it's his idea when I'm all finished. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys get back to your weekend, fingerprints, and I'll see you next week. So, there he is. He's back on. Honey, I was talking about you, but I didn't mean any of it. So if you're not following me, go ahead and follow so you can get a notification when I go live next week. If you want to learn any of those things I was talking about, and hit me in the comments if there's something that you want to know how to do. Also, if you are interested in doing a one-on-one Zoom class or a small group Zoom class, please let me know. There you go, Amy. See, you guys know. Anyway, and Amy, while you're here still, I just have to tell you that piece you did last night live was amazing. Gorgeous. You guys need to go follow Amy from Amy's Vintage Designs and see her stuff. It was amazing. My husband was even watching it with me, and he was supposed to be sleeping. But anyway, you guys have a great weekend. Love y'all. Bye.